that just comfort of the system? Is that the more comfort with your receivers? Just everything?
Yeah, for sure. I think it reflects the way, we've played, the way I've played, especially the last few weeks as an offense. We've played a lot better, and I think that's showing just everybody getting more comfortable, more confident, our group coming together more and more. It takes some time, especially on offense sometimes, to really get that rhythm and continuity between the whole group, especially you get a lot of guys in and out with injuries and a lot of new guys coming in, and we've had some changes, and the guys have handled it really well, and I really feel like we're in a spot now where we're playing a lot more consistent, playing well. I think we all feel really confident out there, including myself, and it's definitely grown throughout the season, and just getting more comfortable with our group and with our system.
You talked during camp and preseason about mastering the offense. Do you feel like you've done that so far this season, or do you feel like you've gotten there?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things that I can improve on after every game. Different plays where I should have maybe sent the protection a certain way, or maybe miss a read or two, or certain throws that you want back. There's definitely a couple from Sunday that I want back, and so you're always looking for ways to improve. As far as going into the game with an understanding and knowledge of just what my job is, what I'm able to get to, different checks, what I'm responsible for, plays I need to get out of, if it's a certain look. Like I understand that really well, and I feel like I have mastered that by game day. Every game plan's a little different. But yeah, every game there's always some plays where could have done something a little bit different, or might miss a check or certain things. So there's definitely things to learn from, but I feel really confident and comfortable in my knowledge of what I'm doing when I get out there on Sunday in our game plan.
When Trevor, Jacoby entered college as a quarterback at NC State for a receiver. Can you still see that in him in terms of your interaction, what he wants, and can relate to you a little bit?
Yeah, I think just his general understanding of the game and the way he processes things, it makes sense that he played quarterback. Just the way he's able to talk about different routes, different zone coverages, his feel for different zones. He's a really smart player, and he understands defenses, and I think that definitely, I'm sure, is some credit to that as playing quarterback, because you do have to understand those things. So we talked a little bit, joked about it. I think I played against him one time when he was at NC State in 2018. That was his last year, so we've talked about it a little bit.
When you get to this time of year, is it tough to stay week to week and not peek ahead a little bit?
Not really. I mean, I think it's where we're at in our season. It's every week is really critical. You just look at our division. Our division's a tight race. It's not like we got this huge lead and can afford to mess around and lose any games. So, I think we are taking it one week at a time, and that's our mindset as a team, and it really is, because we have to. And every game is really critical. So we're taking it one game at a time, and nothing's bigger than this game against New York Sunday.
When you watch the Jets and you see the talent that they have defensively, are you surprised that they've yet to record an interception?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the way they fly around, they do some really good things on defense, and they create some issues. And you watch the tape, and they've had a lot of close ones. I mean, obviously, they haven't been interceptions, but they've had a lot that have been really close, and they're around the ball a lot. So it is surprising. Want to keep that going this week though, and make it go another week. So, but yeah, they do some really good things on defense. We gotta have a good plan for them.
Trevor, there's been a conversation about your best game perhaps being last week. If you agree, and I wonder if you do, did you have your best week on the practice field last week? Because it seems like this team is practicing pretty sharp right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was happy with the way I played and performed on Sunday. I thought I did my job and gave guys opportunities down the field, and guys made some great plays. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that did an awesome job. So as far as my whole career, I don't really know best game, anything like that. We had a great week of practice though. Our team did. Just the focus this time of year. Coach has done a good job of trying to take care of our bodies in certain parts of the practice, so we can take a little bit of the physical toll off it. But mentally, and just the communication and the way the guys are moving around and talking, and just how sharp our practices have been, I think has reflected how we played the games.
Just as a follow-up, but that mental side of it, we're like today, the practice that you have. I mean, how much do you get done on a day like that where it seems like all of it?
It's a lot. You get a lot done. I mean, our first and second down game plan. I guess it's hard to describe. You guys, I'm sure, maybe seen some game plans. It's pretty in depth, and there's a lot of stuff to cover and to get in. So it's a ton of reps of just getting every look that you can, and trying to make sure everybody's on the same page, running through everything that's in the plan. And then there's a lot of time, obviously, after practice to go back through it and watch the tape and watch the different looks, and corrections and see, you know, what we need to do a little bit different. So there's a ton to get done on a Wednesday. Like I say, even if you're not going full speed every rep, there's a lot that you have to, and you have to be able to do that as a team, because later in the season you just can't practice full speed every single rep and run 80 plays out there every day. It's just guys' bodies won't hold up. So, you know, coach has done a great job of managing the schedule. We just do what the schedule is, but he's taking care of us. He's done a great job, and I think we've responded the right way and been mature about it.
How big of a step was it Sunday, the explosives to Brian Thomas Jr.? It seems like, you know, that's getting back into form.
Yeah, you know, he played awesome, just making plays down the field. I mean, he had some unbelievable catches, and for me, just trying to give him opportunities, because you see what he can do when he gets the opportunity. So just trying to keep that going, and obviously, for me, I've always known that that's something that he's great at, and we've seen it over the past, year and a half, getting close to 2 years now, the plays that he can make. So I think it's just going to continue to, you know, help this offense, having that threat, and, you know, alongside obviously what Jacoby's able to do, and Tim and Brent and Parker and Travis and all the backs. And, I mean, there's just so many weapons that we have, and the more that we can all click, which I think we are, the more dangerous we are.
Any thoughts on what Phillip Rivers is doing here? A grandfather, 44 years old, 5 years out of the league, coming back and potentially starting on a week's notice.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm not in that situation, so it's hard for me to even imagine. But you know, he's a great player, so we'll see if this little break how he looks after that. But you know, he's a heck of a player, and it was fun watching. You know, the whole time growing up, he's a stud.
You mentioned it.
Go ahead, John.
You mentioned it, but just having so many different guys in the skill room who can step up on any given week, just how much more effective does that make you guys in terms of game planning, what you can do?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, you look at, obviously, Parker missing last week, and I think everyone would have thought that was a really big deal. Just the season he was having and how much of an impact he had on our offense, and then to see Tim step up and make the plays he made. But that goes for really offensive line, you know, different backs got to step up at different times, receivers, tight ends, our guys on defense. I mean, there's been so many spots on our team that guys haven't played that you would think, man, this is going to really hurt our team, and then we go out and still play well. And it's not to say that we don't miss having those guys, but it's just goes to show guys being ready, the depth that we have really across our whole team, and guys preparing every week like they are the starter, because that doesn't just happen by cramming the week you are going to play. Like, you have to be prepared well in advance for that. You can't just flip a switch and say, all right, now I have to play. I have to figure it all out in 2 days. You know, it's really a lot of time, and that's a process that guys have to go through to be ready.
When did it feel different inside the building to you after Liam got here? Whether that you want to call it culture or atmosphere or vibe or whatever, when did it really start to kind of feel different than what it had been?
I mean, I think from the first day we roll in here, to be honest, just, you know, the energy that Liam's brought, and the whole staff. I think everyone is just to see the alignment, and just the way everything's been handled. You know, I think it's always, I've been through a few staff changes, and there's always a lot of positivity at the beginning, but to see how this staff has handled the adversity of the season, I think that's always the biggest test. Is everything's great in the spring, and then wait till you get to the season and you lose a few games, and then you see how people respond. And I've been really impressed with, obviously, Liam, how he's responded to everything, but the whole staff, and the relationship between players and coaches has been very good, very professional. They've coached us hard. You know, it's been awesome to be around.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks,